guys, so Gods of Egypt came out this weekend. It stars Nikolaj, Coster-Waldau, Gerard, Butler, and Brenton, Thwaites. And it's basically about a mortal boy who teams up with the god Horus to reclaim the throne from another god, Set, who stole the throne from him, and basically reclaim the civilization that was plunged into chaos. So when I went into this movie, I honestly wasn't expecting a whole lot. I was expecting to hate it. And I found out I was actually really surprised. I actually was thoroughly entertained by this movie and I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun. I gotta say the biggest pro to this movie is the action scenes. I didn't expect the action to be so good in this movie, but man, when the gods fought each other and they transformed into these big things, you know, that was really cool. They had some cool weapons in there, and man, when they hate each other, you felt the power between the hits. And I liked all the different gods that they showed in this movie, especially Anubis. I don't know why, when that guy showed up, I just was like, he seems really cool. I like that guy. And each god kind of had their role that they played in this universe, you know. They all had their special power that they had. You know, you have the god of love, you have the god of light, the god of whatever. And you really felt their role was important, each and every one of them, to a certain extent. They had a few gods in there that seemed like henchmen for the other gods. I thought those were kind of throwaway characters. But for the most part, like, these gods felt really powerful, each and every one of them, and they all felt really cool. And another thing I really appreciated is that they didn't try to portray these gods as, oh, we're so perfect in every way. No, they were kind of human to a certain extent. They liked drinking and partying and having sex with hot women. I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, shoot, if you had godly powers, you'd probably do the same thing. I was also pleasantly surprised a few times, especially when they showed the god Ra, and they show his battle that he has with chaos and darkness every single day, and that's kind of his burden that he bears, and it feels really big and epic in scope. This movie just really surprised me in a lot of ways with how big and interesting takes it took on things, and just overall I was just really surprised. But this movie is not going to be some Oscar-winning movie. There are some cons. The biggest con, I gotta say, is Brenton Thwaites. It's kind of the human character in this movie. And it's not because he's a bad actor. I just felt that this movie really didn't need that human character aspect from it. I was so interested in all these god characters and all the roles they played in their battles with each other that the human character to me was always just kind of in the way. And I understood why they had him. You know, they had to show that, well, as humans we can do the impossible and you should always pursue love and blah 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 poop. To me, you just didn't need that character, you know. Get him out of there. Let's focus on these gods and their battles and the epicness. Not this little guy that's just this little scrawny dude that just distracts from everything else. And I'll be honest, I love a good pair of boobs. Especially in movies that show them for purely sexual reasons. I'll be honest, I like boobs. And this movie doesn't show you full-on boobs, but there is a lot of cleavage in this movie, and I'm using that as a con, because they don't do it for like purely sexual reasons or any real good reason. That it came across as desperate. Like, it felt like the movie wasn't confident enough with itself, so it's like, let's make sure every woman character just has lots of cleavage showing in every scene, and you're just kind of like, whoa, whoa, you know? Like, they are beautiful women, don't get me wrong, they are gorgeous. But it felt like they were doing it out of desperation, which kind of made the movie kind of go, eh. And no, I don't have an issue with all the performances in this movie, I really don't, but there are a lot of characters in this movie where the acting is just plain terrible. It's just flat and one note and just not good, and it looked like they just grabbed certain characters because they had the look that they wanted, but they didn't have the acting ability that they wanted. For example, there's these two goddesses that are riding these really badass looking CGI snake things trying to attack them, but the acting they had was just not good. Also, there's this one god that's like the god of knowledge or something like that, and he comes across very forced. Like, his acting, he's supposed to be this really kind of egotistical guy because he knows everything, but his acting just comes across not good to me. Now, because this movie was so much fun and such a surprise for me, but it's not Oscar worthy by any means, I'm gonna have to say this movie is a friends with benefits. There's lots of cleavage and fun, but there's not much depth to it. So guys, when it comes to religious movies, what do you prefer? Do you prefer ones a little more down to earth like Passion of the Christ and Risen, or something more epic in scope like something like this, or Exodus, Gods and Kings, something with more action and stuff like that? Let me know and comment below. Also, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and remember to like that video. If you're not familiar with my movie rating system, please click the eye above and watch my movie ratings video. And please stick around to watch some more movie reviews if you can handle it. Go.